what's up? It's ForneverWorld. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to get all notifications. That way you don't miss out on a single post. Now kick back, relax, and have an awesome time watching the video. The big scene that has everyone going hype. I'm not even gonna lie. I can't even talk about this right now because it is freaking hype. Okay, so I caught up with the Super Dragon Ball Heroes anime, and I gotta say, it's been a wild ride. There are 9 episodes as of the recording of this video, and in case you don't know, Super Dragon Ball Heroes is a web anime where it kind of feels like it's the real anime at times, but it's not. It's kind of just like based off the arcade game, and it's a crazy ride though. I'll tell you that much, because I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did as I kept watching, because the first episode, the story, the pacing, all of it is just kind of like, whoa, you're not used to that, because again, these are 8-minute increments and we're used to 20 to 22 minutes, 24 minutes of content. So it definitely didn't give a nice first impression for a lot of people, but it's been crazy. So without further ado, we're gonna start talking. For starters, let's talk about the Prison Planet arc, which I believe that was covered in about like the first 6 or so episodes, maybe the first 7, I'm not sure. I want to say the first either 5 or 6 episodes. They did the Prison Planet arc, and yeah, let's talk about that. Okay, so the Prison Planet arc starts off very wonky. To be honest with you, it was one of the things that I very first caught that I was like, oh boy, this series ain't about to be much of nothing, because why the hell, or how the hell shall I say, did Mai make it to the God planet? You know what I mean? The planet where Beerus lives, his planet. How, like, I don't know if that was explained and I missed the detail, but that was one thing already where I'm like, okay. And again, starting into Super Dragon Ball Heroes anime, I'm gonna give you the mindset, because if you come with the mindset of expecting, oh man, this is the sequel to Dragon Ball Super, or I'm gonna like it the way I liked Dragon Ball Super, you're probably gonna be disappointed. It's again, because these are 8-minute increments, you know what I mean? And when we start off with the Prison Planet arc, again coming from Super, you're like, wow, this is really quick. Things are very unexplained. The art is slightly different. The animation is nowhere near as good, of course, as the original anime, because again, this is a web series. This isn't, backed by TV corporations and sponsors and stuff like that. So aesthetics wise, you come in and you're already gonna be like, ugh. I will say by the second part of the anime, from where it's at right now, again, the 9 episodes out, the second arc, and even towards the end of the first arc, the Prison Planet arc, I will say that it dramatically improves in pacing, art. The second arc completely just kind of nails the Super art and animation. I feel like the Prison Planet arc, it was very rough and stuff like that. The second part, or the second arc, really changes things up. So let's start talking about Fu, because obviously he was the main villain, still is, I guess, technically the main villain, and he wanted to trap everybody on this prison planet and handed everybody Dragon Balls. We had the Time Patrol Goku and Time Patrol Vegeta show up, a lot of chaos. I honestly would say, if we're talking about Fu as a villain, he had opportunities to be great. I liked when he went up against Cumber and kind of immediately dispelled him and put him in his place. Cumber being the evil Saiyan that is straight up inspired by Broly, hands down. I will be honest with you, and we'll talk more about Cumber later, but Cumber's like, we can't use Broly because he's in a movie right now. How about we just make a wannabe Broly or whatever? But I really like Cumber as well, so there's that. So Fu, though, he had a couple of good moments. I will say, though, as a whole, he was pretty disappointing in the sense of, like, he didn't even have control of his own situation in the prison planet. Every time, like, Cumber was busting chains and he had to come down there himself, and Fu, for the most part, at the very least in that arc, wasn't even, like, he was relevant in the sense of he was running stuff, and towards the end when Cumber was losing it and went Great Ape, and, again, he had to be settled, and he teleported Cumber out of there, and all that stuff, Fu played a cool role, but in a sense, he was just disappointing, and he was, like, nothing. Like, honestly, I wasn't really hype off Fu at all. I don't know if there's a lot of Fu fans out there, but Fu was just like, this is the villain of this is what we got to work with. So I wasn't really too impressed with Fu, and honestly, I was just like, whatever. I remember seeing him because I didn't know too much about him. I was not that knowledgeable about who this character is. I think he was in, like, Xenoverse 2. He might have been in 1, I don't remember, but I still, like, didn't like him in the game, didn't really care for him in the anime. There was a lot of really cool stuff and awesome characters in the anime. Fu for me wasn't one of them. Then of course Goku and Vegeta Time Patrol, you know, it's pretty much kind of like merging Super with the plot of like the Xenoverse games of, you know, this whole Time Patrol and going throughout these dimensions to save things and change things and put things in order. It seems as though it really brings room, and this is what I like, where I almost hope the entirety of the Dragon Ball Heroes anime is another parallel timeline or dimension or whatever to the current Super one, the one that we actually feel is, you know, that's the Dragon Ball story or whatever, the authentic one. Anyway, I would like that, because I felt as though seeing Super Saiyan 4 Goku, you know, well, when he shows up, it was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Like, they wanted the shock factor when they had Goku versus Goku, Super Saiyan Blue versus Super Saiyan 4. A lot of fans dreamed of that. We got to see it. It seems as though Super Saiyan 4 is about as powerful as Blue, maybe a little bit more. That's very telling. That means that we could really look at GT as an alternate reality where things went that way, where things didn't go according to what's been happening in Super, and I like that. I'm not the biggest GT fan, it has its moments, but aside from that, Goku and Vegeta themselves, they were really cool. I like the Time Patrol ones. I like the attitude that Time Patrol Goku has. Vegeta wasn't too much, to be honest with you, and the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito transformation was pretty much just Goku Super Saiyan 4. Didn't really look much different. At first I was like, in the awe factor, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but then when I looked at the design, I'm like, but there's nothing really different. It's just like, it looks like just Vegeta went inside Goku's body, so wasn't really too impressed on the design of that. We did get to see Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Vegito when our Goku and Vegeta fused, and it's always cool to see Vegeta and his character development and what he will do for his family. I think, again, I say it time and time again, even in the Heroes anime, it showcases Vegeta is the most developed character in the Dragon Ball anime. I mean, if we're looking at characters, like, okay, Goku, he's never going to change too dramatically simply because he's that inner child. We know that. So Goku ain't gonna change. I mean, even Yamcha ain't changed, bro. Yamcha's still trying to get biddies out in the desert, you know, the bandit and shit like that. Even Yamcha ain't changed. I guess Krillin changed a bit. You know, he became a family man. I think being a family man, speaking from experience, does start to change you and put things into a more different perspective. So there's that. But I loved seeing Vegeta raging for his son again and going to desperate measures. You know he don't want to fuse with Goku. Him and Kakarot fusing together, not something he wants to do. So the fact that he did it for his son again, always respect for Vegeta. Very, very developed. I hate how the fandom treats him too, because like this dude would do, even in the Heroes animated show, he would go above and beyond for his family, but the fandom would be like, nah fam, get out of here. So that's unfortunate. And then I guess another thing to note is that Dragon Ball Heroes anime didn't stray far away from some of the disappointing things from the original anime, and that's that pretty much neither of the fusions could get the job done. I'm trying to remember, has Fusion ever got the job done? It seems as though, because in the Dragon Ball world these fights tend to, for whatever reason, feel like they last forever, Fusion is just useless in this universe. Like, honestly, again, the Heroes anime, which is not canon per se to our stuff or whatever, we could look at it as an alternate reality where things change. Trunks changed the timeline. Maybe Trunks coming back for the Goku Black arc stopped us from going into the GT timeline. Maybe that's what really did. Of course, I'm not talking about like realistically, marketing wise and everything. I'm just speaking on maybe story wise we could look at it at that. But regardless of what, Fusion never really gets the job done. It looks cool. It was awesome to see Vegito. It was awesome to see Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. It was awesome to see all of that. You know, Kaioken Vegito, all of it. But honestly, it just never gets the job done. But towards the end of this arc is where things really started to get really awesome. To put it in a very simplistic way, Cumber, I honestly think, because I look at things from a marketing standpoint, keeping it real, and I honestly think that Cumber was supposed to be Broly hands down. Remember, Dragon Ball Heroes anime is basically doing and using all the characters from the movies, all the popular ones. It's a fan service bonanza, and I think that Cumber was originally supposed to be Broly, but due to the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie and everything to do with Broly at the time, they probably couldn't use him. They're like, yo, we're giving you an anime, Bandai. Y'all need to chill, okay? You're getting an anime. So that's probably why we got Cumber, which I'm not gonna lie, I think Cumber has one of the coolest Saiyan designs I've ever seen. when he's raging, they always make it look glossy and cool. You can tell that because that's their original character, they really make every scene with him. He looks badass. He's the evil Saiyan, and of course, he has some cool things about him where if you're infected by his ki, you start going insane. So we've seen Goku lose it for a little bit. Even Goku could lose it, and he went bananas or whatever. I like Cumber. I would argue I like Cumber in terms of, I think Cumber is better to a certain degree than, well, he's stronger hands down than the old Broly. I like the new Broly a lot, but the old Broly, I'll take Cumber over him just because Cumber is so mysterious right now. Like, okay, so is he just evil? I'm really excited. Maybe it's not, I don't want to say I take him over the original Broly. It's more so that I'm more excited about him, and I'm almost looking at the old Broly as extinct because we got the new Broly now, and the new Broly's pretty freaking cool and way stronger. In fact, it's interesting. I wonder, Cumber versus the new Broly right now, where would it stand? Again, Cumber is from Dragon Ball Heroes, but that's something that got me really intrigued. And I mean, when he went Uzuru and Super Saiyan, all of the fights that we got from it, we got to see Ultra Instinct return again. That was probably when the series really, like, that was towards the end of the Prison Planet arc. When Goku went Ultra Instinct, all of those moments right there is where it really started to feel like, oh, they're starting to get it. Mind you, they are mimicking a lot of stuff from the original anime, don't get me wrong, but the Ultra Instinct scenes, and then from there on, the pacing started to get better. Like, the pacing was ridiculous, unexplaining things, a lot of terrible things early on in the first arc. The first, I want to say the first handful of episodes, honestly, weren't the best. Like, the director, I don't know who directed it, regardless if it's a web series or not, you need a good director because he was kind of fumbling things and whatever. But towards the end, Ultra Instinct Goku versus Cumber, that was incredible, honestly. Just seeing him immediately get up and it's like, yeah, you can't mess with the best, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of what happened where the planet was exploding, they definitely reenacted what happened in the Frieza saga where Goku was left on Namek while it was exploding, and we're left to think, yo, what happened? I think they even took a break in between that for the second arc, and man, that was powerful. Like, the ending of the Prison Planet arc, worth it. If you sit through the first few episodes, which is not sitting through, it's just like they take everything that you loved about DBZ's action, and that's mainly what they do. It's like, oh, you like Saiyan transformations, you like fusion, you like big powerful fights, you like crazy Saiyans, and they culminated all into those first 4 or 5 episodes, and I felt as though maybe they weren't respecting it enough, and they were just looking at it as, yo, this is just a web what if series, who cares? By episode 6-ish is where it started to turn around. The pacing started to get a little bit better. The second arc is handling the pacing a lot better. It's a 8-minute web series, what can you do? But for the most part, the pacing got better. I mean, it was cool also to see Uzuru Cumber again. We don't get to see the Great Ape transformation that much in Dragon Ball anymore. Honestly, I don't remember when's the last time I seen it, so it was nice to see that. And again, just to see that Cumber, he ain't nothing to mess with. Goku was Ultra Instinct and everything, and still. Honestly, I say Cumber 100% is what saved the Prison Planet arc from being completely just like, ugh. Because Fu, disappointing. And before I forget, let's talk about Golden Cooler, who is lame as hell in Dragon Ball Heroes. I don't know what it is. I'm suspecting that he's either going to be inserted into the Dragon Ball Super anime, or he's going to be inserted as another movie, and maybe that's why they're holding off on marketing on him for right now, because they did the Golden Cooler transformation, and Cooler has done nothing. All he would do is say a line here or there. I think the last time we saw him, what was it? He was chasing Fu, and then we didn't even really see, like, Golden Cooler was garbage, honestly. In Dragon Ball Heroes, if there was the biggest disappointing thing that we seen, was Golden Cooler. He was disappointing. He was terrible. I hope if they bring him back, which if it worked for Broly, Cooler was another popular one. He's Frieza's brother. Frieza's the most popular villain. They're gonna bring him back. I'll put my money on it. They're bringing him back for either the anime or another movie where they bring him into the canon story like they did Broly. I think, honestly, if it was up to me, I'd do a Cooler movie, bring him into the story, and then bring back the Super anime, bring Broly and Cooler in. And I'm talking about if I was in control. As a fan, I want the Dragon Ball Super anime 5 minutes ago, okay? But I would bring Cooler and Broly and shit, even Cumber, but I doubt Heroes. They're going to leave that to Heroes alone. And put them into the story, and then bring back the Super anime. So I'm gonna put 99% Cooler is returning again. So yeah, for the most part, the Prison Planet arc, in the end, it turned out fantastic. I think the cliffhanger was awesome. The way they introduced Zamos with the eye patch returning and all that, teasing the next arc. Prison Planet arc was, in the end, it panned out, but honestly, there was just a lot of disappointments about the Heroes anime. I think we knew for the most part going into it that it was supposed to be short, so the 8-minute episode thing, it's throughout. That's fine. I know what, that's what it is, but the pacing, the unexplained things, my popping up on the God Planet, Golden Cooler being disappointing, Fu really not being much of anything, just a lot of things in there, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito basically being disappointing as hell, looking just like Goku. So there was a lot of that, but there was also a lot of fan service in general, seeing Super Saiyan 4, the Time Patrol Goku and Vegeta, all of that. So in that regard, okay, cool. The ending, Ultra Instinct Goku, all of that, the Cumber fight, Uzuru Cumber, there was some disappointing stuff about the pacing again on that, but the fight was cool. Overall, it was like, if I was to average it, I would say that it's passable. And if you're a Dragon Ball fan and you miss watching animated stuff, the Prison Planet arc is worth it too, especially when it comes to the next thing we're talking about, the Universal Conflict arc, and that's the second arc in Dragon Ball Heroes. Alright, so now let's talk about the arc that actually really sold me to watching Super Dragon Ball Heroes, because again, like I've said in the past, the Prison Planet arc, and just in general, like Dragon Ball Heroes, when you first watch the first couple episodes, you're not really that hooked or sold, at least with the first episode, because you're coming off of Dragon Ball Super, where again, it's a full-fledged anime, you're coming to episode shorts from a web series. So again, it wasn't that impressive, but once you get to the Universal Conflict arc and Zamos and everything, woo! Let's talk about that now. Again, I want to say that starts around the episode 6 or 7 mark where that begins, and they had taken a break in between, and I'm glad they took that break, because hands down, it shows that they learned from their mistakes of the first arc with how to move an 8-minute episode series and how to write an 8-minute episode series where it's not completely discombobulated feeling and just like, downright horrible. They figured it out. They left some great cliffhangers at the end of the last one where we saw Zamos. I'm not sure if they were in the cliffhangers or not, but we also had the 2 baby looking creatures. I think the names are Orin and Kamine, if I'm not mistaken. Also Hearts. So the ending left a lot. I don't know if Hearts was shown in the ending. I'm not gonna lie, but just seeing Zamos, it was incredible. So starting off is like already I'm hype, and I will tell you right now, if you don't even want to watch the Heroes anime, just jump straight into the Universal Conflict arc. If you absolutely do not like the Prison Planet arc, you hated the thought of it and everything, Universal Conflict arc essentially is Zamos teaming up with these baby, you remember Baby from GT? It's like these baby-esque Tufflin creatures or whatever that was. I believe they were banished away from the Tuffles or something like that, but essentially this creation that made these particles that look like baby. They kind of look like the androids at the same time in a way a little bit, but for the most part they look like baby. They're a female and a male, and they're infecting people, and oh my gosh, I thought this should have been the arc to return the Dragon Ball Super anime to. I honestly feel as though the Universal Conflict arc, they can actually 100% make as the Super animes return, and then we could go to, if you're reading the manga, the arc that we're on right now, which is really good as well. But man, just seeing Hit, Caulifla, Kale, Kaba, all of them struggling against this threat was absolutely an incredible way to show, without having Vegeta getting pummeled into the ground, because we know that's one of the tactics they use. Yes, show Vegeta is trash so that Goku can come and save the day. No, it was the Universe 6 fighters, and it's because Zamos and his crew that want to take down the Omni King and change everything decided to strike. And man, seeing Hit getting blown back, and I ain't gonna lie, because it's been a while since I've seen Caulifla, and y'all know I love, well, if you don't know now, I love Caulifla. So seeing Kale and Caulifla, oh my gosh, that was freaking, I loved it. The Universal Conflict arc is only about 2 or 3 episodes in, but just from jump, when you're seeing these 2 baby creatures, which, I ain't gonna lie, things from GT, if you're one of those fans like me, you tend to be a little off-put to them. It's like, I don't know. But trust me when I say that, Orin and Kamine, they're just small little assets, and they're cool for the fights. Their designs is awesome. They're great eye service, and they serve well to further the whole thing of, because to me, I look at it as Zamos is the one really running this, right? He's teaming up with Hearts, but he's still even having his cocky, narcissistic attitude of don't ever order me around, Ningen. And I love that. I love his new design. I think Zamos is what's really driving this arc for me as well. But, I mean, again, showing up to seeing the Universe 6 fighters getting thrashed in and seeing Vegeta and Trunks having to jump in there, that was great. Honestly, the fights was great. Seeing that we kind of got Baby in this as well, because, or Baby Vegeta, because for a time period as well, up until the latest episode, Vegeta was infected by those things and he turned into a pre-design of Baby Vegeta. Again, I want to say that this is their idea of saying this is what would have happened had GT not happened the way it did, and instead, you know, these particle things or whatever. I want to say that's that, or it could just be that they're heavily inspired, but again, I believe they have relation to the Tuffles. It's a little confusing there, but for the most part, it's really awesome to see. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not a big GT fan at all, but they're dope. And I mean, again, seeing Hit getting kicked back blow, like, yo, when they figuring out his time skip and trolling him like that, that was good stuff. And then even seeing a little bit of Zamos and Hearts versus Jiren, seeing the fact that they stomped out and then Red hits mine to get the whereabouts about Jiren, that was hype. I mean, don't get me wrong, Hearts, first of all, he kind of looks like he has a big, like he's a Luffy from One Piece fanboy. He has the X on his chest. He's trying a little too much there or whatever. But for me, Zamos is in control. And I almost feel as though this is the Zamos Strikes Back arc. I'm not sure if Hearts is going to pull one out at the last minute and overdo him. I'm not sure if Cumber's going to kill every single person, because Cumber's crazy, even though he was sent to Universe 3 right before Goku showed up again. Regardless of what, I really like Zamos, and I think that that's what's driving this arc. I think the pacing, the slowed down pacing, but still having epic fights, but it's not just unexplained nonsense like the early parts of the Prison Planet arc. This arc right here, just stellar. And then the big scene that has everyone going hype. I'm not even gonna lie, I can't even talk about this right now because it is freaking hype. It reminds me, if I guess the end of the Prison Planet arc, if that was inspired by Goku being stranded on Namek and Namek exploding, then this part right here where Goku shows up with the Grand Priest reminds me of kind of like when he came from Snake Way or some shit like that, or when Gohan came with the training clothes from the Supreme Kai's planet. It gave me that vibe and I was so hype. I am dying to see. I think one of the main reasons why the Grand Priest helped them is simply because, yo, they're targeting the Omni King. You want to target the Omni King? We're going to send this dude back. The powers, the moves, I want to see Goku kick major tail. I mean, already, you know, he got Vegeta out of that Baby Vegeta thing, thankfully, because I did not want a repeat of it. I mean, we had that slime monster that was basically kind of like that, and the super filler, you know, Dragon Ball Super Anime's filler. So we don't need any more of evil Vegeta. Unless it's Majin Vegeta, I'm cool on that. And even Majin Vegeta outgrew that. I don't think that's ever happening again. And then, of course, we're left off with Jiren versus Zamos, because Zamos tried to attack Goku, which Zamos is still salty, bro. Why are you so salty, dog? You a soy boy right now. And Goku versus Hearts. I'm imagining Goku should be able to wipe the floor with Hearts. I want to see a rematch of Grand Priest Goku versus Cumber. Sadly, he got sent off to Universe 3. I want to know more about Cumber. It's so much exciting stuff. Dragon Ball Heroes anime, definitely worth it if you want to get to the good stuff. It's kind of like the Super Anime. Super Anime, first 5 episodes, remember episode 5? Then it got a little better. Still had his problems with Resurrection F. Heroes anime, I'm expecting it to still have its problems because it's a fan service anime. It's not really trying to take itself like serious. I mean, I guess it is, and that's what's the best things about it. I feel as though Heroes, if you loved Dragon Ball Z based on these first 9 episodes, and I probably will talk a lot more about this because I'm fascinated by this right now, you will really like Heroes if you like the aesthetics, the fights, the transformations, all of that stuff, because Dragon Ball Heroes really brings it in. But I can't ignore the fact that the first part of the Prison Planet arc is awful. Cooler was a waste of time, unless later on he's going to be more important. Fu has done next to nothing. He reminds me of that master of all, jack of all trades or whatever from the Teen Titans episode. Really, Cumber, absolutely amazing. I love the Evil Saiyan. Time Patrol Goku and Vegeta, really cool. I like Goku's attitude from there. I wish our Goku would just change slightly to have a little more of a, not being cocky, but maybe a serious tone. And maybe that's what that's supposed to represent, the fact that the franchise from the Z era to GT took itself so serious that it lost its elements of comedy. And it's like, yeah, maybe I liked that coolness, but then I'll miss the stuff that the Heroes anime in general misses out on, and that's really the big piece of the comedy. There's that's the heart that is missing out of this. It's Toriyama's awesome writing, the characters kind of interacting with funny stuff. This is just straight up action, 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 which is what Z kind of became. And we love Z, but I think we kind of love what Super brought to the table, and I don't want to lose the heart of Toriyama. Check out Dragon Ball Heroes, especially the Universal Conflict arc with Zama's returning. It's been crazy. They're about 8 minutes apiece. You can get through it. Cumber's awesome. I'd recommend watching it all just because, like, then you won't be missing context, even though it's still kind of confusing. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit the bell to get all notifications. If you want to support any of my music, I got a new song out, You're Not Goku, as well as the album I put out, My Beautiful Hell. I appreciate any and all support. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day.
Maybe lately what I've been facing got me crazy. No, I can't take it. Maybe lately what I've been facing got me